Welcome to the world of web automation with Selenium and C#. In today's video we will learn a lot about the automation of websites. One of the topics we will cover is how to control drop-downs, checkboxes and radio buttons on a website. As a starting point we will use the project we built in the basic video on this topic. So if you don't have any experience yet, no problem. I'll put the link to the basic video in the description. Here it is explained step by step what you need and how the first steps are to load and control a website. If you already have experience and want to know how to control and automate specific web page controls, you are exactly in the right video. First, let's make a small improvement to our last project. Currently the ChromeDriver we use to load a web page is not closed again. This can lead to problems. To avoid this, we use a method that is called just before closing the form to find the process and close it if it exists. So you see we keep it simple. Just use the process class to load all running processes. Then we use a for each loop to check if the process is there and just close it. For our tests, we use a website that is perfect for this. I'll put the link in the video description. Here we have the option to test various things, such as checkboxes, radio buttons and drop-down lists. As a first step, we change our website variable to the new website address. We make also a small modification in the annotate ChromeDriver method that we use to load the new website. Also comment the line out that we used for the pop-up in our last video. Now we are ready for a first loading test of the new website. So site is loading fine. But there is also a pop-up on this website. Okay, let's fix that in the same way that we did it last time on the Google page. To address the corresponding button, we again use Chrome's developer tools. Simply right-click anywhere on the website and click Inspect in the context menu. Alternatively, you can also press F12. On the right-hand side, we then see information about the specific control we have selected and can find and use a relevant ID. In this case there seems to be nothing useful. But don't worry, there are various ways to identify a control. In this example we use a right-click on the information and simply copy the selector to the clipboard. We can then use this in the code just like the ID to find and access the control. Before we close our program, let's quickly check whether the ChromeDriver is found and closed. To do this, we set a debug point at the right place. This will stop the program at this point and we can take a look at it. Everything works perfectly. Now we can use the known code to close the pop-up. To do this, we simply close the ID part with the selector we have identified. When starting the tool, we see a problem. The error message shows that the element from our pop-up button could not be found. This is a problem that we will see more often. It has something to do with timing. As we have seen, the pop-up is delayed by a few seconds. In other words, when the code is loaded our page and jumps to the corresponding if statement, the pop-up is not yet present. There are also various solutions to this issue. For the beginning we use the simplest one. We just wait a few seconds. Now it works. As we see, the page loads directly, but only when the pop-up is clicked away. We see the page source code in the text box. This is our sign that we are ready and the manipulation can begin. Now let's add the corresponding controls such as checkbox, radio button and drop-down to our layout. We will use them later to control the counterparts on the website. Selenium is a popular choice for web automation, and there is a strong community of developers using C# with Selenium. This means extensive documentation, tutorials, and community forums are available for support and troubleshooting. C# is a versatile language that can be used with Selenium to automate web tasks on various operating systems such as Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Now that we have expanded our layout and the corresponding event handlers, let's start with the radio buttons. The way to get the corresponding ID should be familiar by now. And in this case it is very easy to find the right IDs. Now we have everything we need to write our code. As a little pre-check of the control, you can be sure that the control is really displayed and clickable at the time where you fetch it. We use the same code with a different ID also for the other radio button. So looks fine to me, let's test it. The radio buttons worked well. Now we can get the needed data to control the checkboxes. It's not really much differences to the radio buttons. In this case we did not have a unique ID. But we can use the class name from the checkboxes. So ready for a new test. Pretty sure that it works. So as the last control for today, let's take a look at the drop-down element. This is a really interesting control because it contains a list of different elements. We would be able to select a specific item. But in this example we will load the whole list into our combo box. So we have the possibility to select different elements while the tool is running. First, we load the complete list of elements from the website dropdown into our combo box on our layout. The best place for this is where we know for sure that the website is loaded and usable. So no more pop-ups in the way. This piece of code can also be used in the section where we want to change the selected element in the dropdown. So let's do it. Now we are ready for one last test. The page loads completely and we can see from the text box when the page is ready for our manipulation. Radio button and checkboxes are also working fine. And the Como box is loaded with the needed data, and we are able to select any element from it that we want. So I would say that is a good start into the world of automation. If you want more to learn from this or other topics, just check my channel and I am pretty sure you find what you need. If not, just write it into the comments. Yeah, I'm always happy for new ideas that improve my content or channel.